Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
My name's Kirk. Here for Thursday Night Football once again.
The Los Angeles Rams defeat the Minnesota Vikings 30-20 in a game that started as a classic but ended as a bit of a...
I know. Refs, man. Refs ruined that one for me.
Should we start there with the missed face mask at the end?
There's no question it was a face mask. It's just so obvious. Like, all you had to do was watch, like, 2 replays and be like, yeah, he got the side of the face and ripped it.
It's unfortunate because we don't get to see what happened. Now, I'm not saying there was any guarantee that Sam Darnold was going to drive 95 yards in 1 minute, 40 seconds with no timeouts and get the 2-point conversion.
Kirk Cousins would have.
That's Kirk Cousins. That's where he lives.
Yeah, right.
So if they had Cousins still. But we still didn't get to really see it. The thing that boggles my mind is why can't someone just radio into the ref's ear and say, no, call it.
Face mask.
Like, even Kirk Herbstreit's like, there was something there. And I'm like screaming at the TV, as you know.
Yeah.
We're watching it right now. He's got his finger on the bar of the face mask. It's right there. Stop saying there might be a face mask.
Yeah. And they're going to be like, we didn't have the proper angle. They're going to come up with some stupid excuse. But there needs to be something to just, justify that. And I know you can't challenge penalties and whatnot. So, that has to be radioed down early.
Yeah.
And
we got lots of staff.
Yeah.
Amazon can't pay for one more guy to tell them when a face mask happens.
Nope. Non-union. Can't do it. It was a good game, though. I mean, it started out hot. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got touchdown.
Yeah, 4 straight 70-yard drives for touchdowns. Justin Jefferson was on absolute fire.
He probably had like 70 yards in the first quarter or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did.
Yeah,
he did.
5 catches of just all over the place.
Yeah, but he ended with, let's see, he kind of disappeared after that.
He got 100.
Yeah, 115.
Yeah, okay.
But it was...
But most of those are in the first half, or first quarter.
It was really cool to see that back and forth when it was 14-14.
Yeah.
And Stafford was playing great. Darnold was playing great. Just hitting Justin Jefferson. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are back.
Nacua looks right back into it, man.
Know.
He looks fresh.
Yes.
Kupp looks like Kupp and just classy veteran.
You just can't have 2 narratives flip as much as they have today. The Rams are dead in the water. They were sellers at the trade deadline.
Yep.
And now they get a win. They go to, 3-4 now?
3-4.
They have Puka Nacua. They have Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
They got this 10-day resting period. And suddenly, the Rams...
They're right in it.
They're clearly NFC... You should start thinking they're in the NFC playoffs already.
They're 1 game back in the NFC West. They're almost in the lead of the division.
They have one of the only good quarterbacks in the NFC.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Vikings were 5-0. They went on bye. And now they've just gotten, they had an elite defense, and they have just gotten sucker punched by Jared Goff and the Lions, and now Matt Stafford and the Rams in this long touchdown drives. The Vikings are just getting beat up.
Yeah. And all of a sudden that Brian Flores defense doesn't look as good. They're going to, there's a little doubt there now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how they're going to respond to it, but it's kind of lucky that they, get a little time now. Yeah. I know they just had their bye, but these last 2 losses are brutal for their ego.
They need to step back, and something is definitely going on.
Let's go back to what's working.
Yeah, because Sam Darnold, he's fine. He will. It seems like the pattern is pretty established by this point in the season. He definitely succeeds in the first quarter. In the second quarter, things start to unravel a little bit through the rest of the game. But when they're on track, when they're on the plays, he can run this offense.
Yeah.
To a middling point. He needs the elite defense.
Yeah.
And he really, I don't know what's going on with Christian Darrisaw, their left tackle, who was on an all-pro pace.
Yeah. That's
one of their best players. That's one of their secrets of success. So, all of a sudden, the Vikings are 5-2. We're looking at the Lions and Packers, and we're going, uh-oh, Vikings.
Yeah, it's like, geez, I hope you can make the playoffs.
Stuff just, who knows? It could all happen back in reverse, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly this league changes. But, Darnold, he had his opportunities. They had to settle for some field goals. That Naylor drop in the fourth, that really hurt.
That should have been a
touchdown.
A Darnold late touchdown right there.
Yeah.
That would have made the game much different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That Naylor drop is brutal.
That was huge.
And then
it was a great play because he could have ran for the first two, but he saw Naylor in the gap.
Mm-hmm.
He gets it to him. It's a 15-yard touchdown pass, easy peasy. But
that would have been a big deal. And then, of course, a lot of what stopped the remaining drives was Darrisaw's position. You know, the backup Quisenberry.
You're missing an all-pro lineman.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. Like that's hard to replace guys like that.
So you're right. It wasn't Darnold's fault, but I just think he has a ceiling.
Yeah.
You need like this. The formula here is elite defense, and Sam Darnold can manage it from there.
He's game manager written all over him.
Yeah. Because it's getting almost the second half of the season already. Things get a little harder. You need that defense.
Oh yeah,
man. What's going on? The Lions, they stuffed it down the throat of the Vikings, and the Rams threw 4 touchdowns today.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford threw 4 touchdowns.
I mean, I'm shocked by the Rams. Like,
yeah,
I'm glad they got Kupp and Nakua back. This was perfect timing for them. So, I mean, I guess you didn't really have the film to really figure them out, but like you're the Vikings, you're running the same thing all the time anyways.
Yeah.
You got Brian Flores has got his own system. But they're giving up points. They're very turnover based. If you don't turn over the ball against the Vikings, you still got a chance. You know, I mean, it's not like the Vikings have been like points per game wise been really, really good, but they have been turnover wise very, very good.
Yeah,
that's the sweet spot, getting those sacks, getting those big plays. But points wise, they gave up a lot to Green Bay too. You know, I mean, now the Lions as well. Rams, they played 3 good offenses in a row.
Yeah,
so it's not just like completely just kill off the Vikings here, but
right.
But the secret sauce is that defense has got to be opportunistic and keep giving, Darnold those opportunities to get it to Jefferson.
Yeah.
But
they got Colts, Jaguars, Titans after this. So maybe that
should help.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Vikings will be back on track.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, 4 touchdowns, moves up to 364 career touchdowns. He now needs only 2 touchdowns to knock Eli Manning out of the top 10 career.
Yes.
Which is where Eli should be, outside of the top 10.
Absolutely.
But it's pretty crazy. Yeah. Stafford is in that era. Now he's already top 10 career touchdowns. He did that, or I'm sorry, top 10 career yards.
Okay.
He did that last week, knocking Eli out of the top 10.
Take that, Eli.
So now he needs 2 more touchdowns to knock Eli out of the top 10 of that category, and we'll be good.
Yeah, but Eli will always be top 10 of most punchable face.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. At least top 3.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Sirianni is, I think he's the most punchable face right now.
Cryberry Sirianni, yeah. God. But yeah, and Kyron Williams sitting at 10th in a row, I think, of games with touchdowns. Like
just a touchdown machine. He has as many touchdowns as Derrick Henry. Yeah. He's got a little streak going, like you said. I mean, he had over 100 yards today, total yards. So yeah,
this guy came out of nowhere last year too.
Yeah,
and he's just just fits right into the Rams mold. Todd Gurley is long in the past.
Yeah. And I know one of the Vikings, linemen went down, Darrisaw went down, but I'm impressed by the Vikings Rams pass rush.
Yeah. Verse.
I mean, am I just going off of one Thursday Night Football here? But damn, the Rams look good.
I know.
And all of a sudden,
Rams are right back in it.
We were rooting against them because we're Seahawks fans.
I don't want them back in this playoff hunt, and they are firmly back in it. Yeah. They got a legitimate chance. They finished strong in the seasons. Yeah. McVay's a good coach, a Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah.
So I mean, when they're getting healthier, they're gonna have a good November, I think.
Yeah. It all starts to matter around Halloween. We got the ceramic pumpkins in the middle of the table here. That's how you can tell football's getting meaningful. Seems like every time we sit here, there's more and more candles and ceramic fall decorations. My wife is just piling the table with them.
How many pumpkins do you need? There's like freaking 10 right there. I mean, that's a lot of pumpkins.
Oh my! Honestly, it seems like a little overdone.
And that's the analysis that you tuned in for.
That's the analysis you tuned in for. Set the scene. Well, it's Mukilteo Football Show. The show is football, everything, NFL history, legacy, ups and downs of the season. We got shows Sunday, Monday, and Thursday after the primetime games. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Week 8. upon us.
Yep.
No buys this week.
Why? Why
I
NFL?
I believe you wanted to go on a small rant about that.
Why did we have buys in week 5 and we don't have buys in week 8? Also, we will not have buys in week 13.
Oh, really? Oh, there's another one coming.
And we'll have buys in week 14. Why are we doing this? Just cram them all together. Just like there should be like 6 weeks of buys, and that's it. Just get it over with.
Yeah, it's just for competitive parity, too. It's a real disadvantage to have your buy in week 5.
Yeah. Or have your buy away in week 14.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
Too far on
and
either
then,
end.
And then nothing in week 8. Why? I want an explanation. I want a strongly worded letter to me. Send it to my house.
Yeah, Kirk McGilvery at 123 Mukilteo Lane.
Give me that letter. I want to know why.
All right, let's talk some week. There's a bunch of good week 8 games. Not as good as week 7. Week 7, I think, was peak, like intrigue.
These are the games, though. I mean, like, you need these ones. There's a lot of mediocre teams, like, fighting. You don't want to get to, like, loss number 4 or 5 right now. Like, that starts to put you into panic mode. So that's kind of where we're at, and there's a lot of those matchups this week.
Yeah, a lot of different, Bengals got, a lot of, we'll talk about them, but a lot of good cliff moments for some teams as we get into the 8th week. One of the games I wanted to start with, it's the hardest game to review because we're not sure about the injury situation. Commanders, Bears.
Yeah.
And obviously the number one topic on that is Jaden Daniels going to play so that we can watch the number 1 overall pick and the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft, who are both starting hot, face off against each other. But he had that rib injury.
I know. And it's something he kind of had in college, at least that's what I've heard.
Okay.
So this is kind of a lingering issue.
Yeah.
And I mean, ribs, that's hard to play through. Yeah. And he's a rusher too. So I don't know if they're actually going to throw him out there. I kind of hope they do, because I don't want to watch Mariota again. I mean, he looked good, but it was
against the Panthers.
It was against the Panthers. And the Panthers are giving up 35 points a game, so I don't care who you are. You can throw anybody out there. They're going to put up at least 30 on them. Just
by taking him out in that game shows to me that they're being a little more careful than they were with maybe past quarterbacks of the Washington franchise's history.
Yeah, and I can see him sitting them because, you still got Philly and Dallas coming up soon, so you might sit him for this game. I hope he plays, because I like the 1-2 matchup. It doesn't
seem like Adam Schefter's update is Washington plans to attempt to try to practice Jaden Daniels on Friday.
What kind of report is that?
I don't know. It sounds like inviting you to a barbecue, Kirk.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna do your best to evaluate if you're gonna attempt to come to the barbecue.
I might maybe perhapsly be coming and attending that maybe party.
He ain't coming.
And I would show up too. That would shock you the most. But that's not a report.
Yeah.
It's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play.
I don't either.
And the Bears defense, Caleb Williams has the easier side on this. He gets to play as the Commanders defense, which is one of the worst in the league. Jaden Daniels would have to face, and Marcus Mariota likely has to face, a Bears defense that's got some spunk to it.
Yeah.
They haven't faced the top teams, but they've got some spunk.
Yeah, they look pretty good. And Eberflus is a defensive-minded coach, so he's got that unit playing the way he wants it to.
Yep.
Obviously, the competition they played hasn't been fantastic, but the
Jaguars,
group
Panthers,
still looks good. They got good pieces. They're not somebody you can just write off. Montez Sweat on the defensive line.
Montez Sweat revenge game.
Yeah.
Traded from the Commanders to the Bears.
He could be hyped for this one. And I like the Bears defense. I'm a little worried about Caleb Williams, honestly.
Yeah?
He's been playing cupcake games. His stats are looking good. He's kind of gotten into a flow, but what happens when he gets some pressure on him? What happens when things start breaking down? That offensive line's not good. So I'm a little worried, because Commanders are going to come in there and let's steal one while Jaden Daniels is out. This is definitely the focus is on Dan Quinn's defense.
Bears,
for this game.
I would agree. Bears are favored by 2.5 on the road. The game is in Washington.
Okay,
that's obviously a Jaden Daniels. Seems like they're leaning not playing as well. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Bears pretty confidently here, even if Jaden Daniels plays. I just think the Commanders' defense is another one of those cupcakes.
Yeah.
And I also think the confidence is a big deal for Caleb Williams. And I think maybe he doesn't know that he
doesn't know any better.
He doesn't know any better. And he's like, I'm throwing 4 touchdowns in the NFL. Wow.
So I am good.
And I think the confidence is a big deal. And he does have good weapons. So I'm taking Bears pretty confidently here, whether Jaden plays or not.
Yeah, I think when you have your starting quarterback out, you kind of know the plan you need to do. You need to play good defense. You need to run the ball a ton. And I think the Commanders, but Eckler, Robinson, and McNichols, they're just going to pound the rock all day and not give Williams all those opportunities. So I'm going Commanders at home.
Okay.
I'm liking the Commanders this year.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Starting off with a
disagreement.
I love that. Let's talk Eagles-Bengals. In Cincinnati. The Eagles are 4-2. The Bengals are 3-4.
Coming back.
Favored by 3. Yeah, I mean,
Bengals are favored?
Bengals are favored by 3 at home here. These are two teams we haven't really gotten to see in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because they've both been playing the Browns and Giants. The Eagles played the Browns then Giants, and the Bengals played the Giants then Browns.
And if you need 2 wins, those are the teams.
So both defenses are looking great.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny they both did that. But so we really haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
As far as real competition.
We're not paying attention to those games.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know where I'm leaning in this game. This is a hard game for me to predict.
I'm going to start with the Eagles.
Okay.
Because they're 4-2. And that's a good winning record. And for most teams, they'd be perfectly happy being 4-2. Mm-hmm. The Eagles have a winning season right now, and they hate themselves. It's just the most classic Philly thing.
We got Nick Sirianni yelling at Philadelphia fans from the sideline.
You're 4-2. You're winning football games. That's a good thing. But it's not registering that way. I mean, Saquon Barkley has been an absolute beast. Mm-hmm. But I think most of the fault on the Eagles comes down to kind of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm just at the point where I'm I don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
Well, I would agree.
He's average.
Yeah.
And his motor and whatnot kind of puts him just a little bit above average. But when you watch his accuracy and his decision making, sometimes you're oh, this is why they're struggling on offense on third downs and whatnot. When he has to actually be a quarterback, they struggle.
Can't see the middle of the field.
Yeah.
He looks very much like a college quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah. And thank goodness he has A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to throw some bombs to every now and then.
Yeah. An elite offensive line and a few elite weapons is going to help.
Yeah.
Barkley and A.J. Brown, I mean, good God.
Yeah.
Talk about explosive talent.
Yeah, he's got his weapons, but he's just not getting them where they need to be over the top just because he's not that. He's still kind of a college. He's average. Yeah. He's average.
I think the Eagles fans, we always praise the NFC East as having not just a lot of fans, but there's a really good core history of football knowledge. When those fan bases are mad before it happens.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like they're mad because they can see that.
They're here we go again.
And Sirianni, go back to punchable face Sirianni, there is something weird with Sirianni and Hurts.
Yeah.
It's just been this where there's smoke, there's fire. Sirianni does stuff. Hurts doesn't really defend him, says that's kind of weird. Sirianni's bringing his kids out to the press conferences. My theory about Nick Sirianni is that he doesn't know that the other coaches are gruff and mean to the media as a competitive thing. Like Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like a game to him. He's taking this gruff personality to give as little information as possible, or Kyle Shannon or Sean McVay. It's all a game.
Yeah.
I feel like Nick Sirianni's actually mad
at
the reporters.
Right? He takes it too personal. He's too personal about it. Yeah.
I don't think Sirianni's bringing a lot to the table. I don't think Hurts is bringing what he should be bringing to the table as far as in terms of the expectation of a franchise quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like Philadelphia fans know there's something rotten at that core.
Oh, yeah.
And they're losing pieces.
And it's
head
coach, man. Yeah.
Yeah, left tackle Mailata's hurt. The defense isn't as deep as it was before. You don't have Jason Kelsey. You don't have Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when that defense isn't playing well, the Eagles fold.
Yeah,
they fold. They're just a bunch of babies if they can't stay into the game.
Yeah.
This team is not a comeback team. They've got to start hot to actually win games.
And the only reason we're thinking Eagles defense is doing great right now is because he just played Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Dingle Jones. Sorry. Yeah. On this podcast, he's Dingle Jones.
Dingle Jones without his best lineman, too. So, of course, they were getting sacks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I do like Jalen Carter, but this defense should be way better than it is. They got the talent to be really good.
Yeah.
So, So Eagles, I'm still
We're a
worried.
little nervous.
Yeah,
Okay, so is that then you lean in Bengals? I mean, you're a big Bengals guy.
I've been waiting for the Bengals to come back a little bit, get back into this race.
They're right here.
Started 1-4. That's pretty bad. Joe Burrow's been playing lights out. Joe Burrow's awesome. He's great. Higgins just looks healthy now. Chase is putting up career numbers.
Yep.
At least he's on pace to set career numbers. I love that. Running game, they don't really need it too much, but Burrow, he's got that offense humming. The problem is Big Lou's defense.
Yeah. Again, they only look good in the last couple weeks because they played the Browns and Giants in reverse order of the Eagles.
Yeah.
We do not know what's expected of these defenses.
This is a tough game to call.
That's what I was saying.
It's really, really hard.
And like Barkley, Brown, Chase, Higgins, someone's going to explode for a huge play. How am I supposed to know who that is?
When it comes,
both left tackles are out.
Right.
Mailata for the Eagles on IR. Yeah. Orlando Brown for the Bengals likely not playing. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in this game, and I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it on your TV. Turn it on your TV.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely watching this game from start to finish. But, Bengals just shut down Barkley.
Yeah.
Make Hurts throw it 40 times. Like, make him go get first downs, third and longs. No tush pushes. Don't give him those early yards. And you can win this game with ease.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning that way, too. Like, there's something to do to Jalen Hurts, and I don't think there's really anything to do to Joe Burrow.
They're going to put up points.
Burrow's been playing really well. The stats aren't there. Like, I've been watching these games. Maybe it's just because they're beating up on teams and that aren't competing with them offensively. But, I watched the Browns game, and then I heard he had 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was like, only 180?
Yeah. So what was he doing?
I know.
Yeah.
But it looks like more than that because he's playing well. The Bengals offense is humming. So I'm when in doubt, go quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going quarterback Joe Burrow. And honestly, I think, who is the Bengals coach?
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. I think he's a better coach than Sirianni, and I don't even remember his name. But I think this is an Eagles loss that heat starts to come on the Eagles again right before they have to play all these divisional games.
Yeah.
Bengals need this one. You get back to 500 after starting 1-4. That's pretty nice.
The Bengals can't keep getting away with this.
They can.
But it's going to happen. They play the Raiders next week.
Yep.
And listen to this December run for them. Cowboys, Titans, Browns, Broncos.
Ooh, baby.
That's who the Bengals. They're gonna get away with this.
They're gonna get away with this, man. They're gonna sneak in that playoffs.
Joe Burrow and the Frosted Tips.
You do not want to play the 6-seeded, Bengals in the playoffs. You do not want to taste that.
All right. Well, okay. So we're both going Bengals there. All right. Let's go to the hometown boys who are flying over to upstate New York, the Buffalo Bills. It's the Seattle Seahawks flying to Buffalo Bills.
No, they're coming here.
Oh, okay. And it actually says Buffalo at Seattle on my notes. So
that's your bad.
So, I mean, what am I doing?
You caught the wrong flight.
I caught the wrong flight. I'm in Buffalo right now.
Oh, no.
Okay. Dang, I should be going to this game. I usually try to collect all the good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, Buffalo from upstate New York, start over. Buffalo from upstate New York, flying all the way across the country to Seattle.
To Pacific Northwest.
To the Pacific Northwest. Get a fish at the Pike Place Market. Josh Allen is in town, and he hasn't thrown an interception this season.
That is the most shocking stat of the entire year, is that Josh Allen doesn't have a pick. In my opinion, that stat is baffling to me. He's always throws an interception, makes some stupid I'm trying to be a hero play.
Let me tell you this. He has thrown a pick. They just haven't caught the pick.
The ones. Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's like sometimes interceptions is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. But it's a pretty good run for 7 games to not do that, especially for Josh Allen.
For his reputation.
But I can guarantee you one thing about this game.
Okay.
He throwing a pick. That streak coming.
I was going to say.
That streak coming.
Are we calling that? We're calling
I'm calling that right now. He's throwing a pick. Guaranteed.
Amari Cooper's in town.
Yeah.
I feel like he really helps that offense.
Oh, yeah.
He himself didn't do much in that game, which is fine. I mean, it's your first game back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I know he caught the touchdown, but, he really opens up that offense, allows Keon Coleman, Shakir, Kincaid to play their roles, James Cook to play their roles. I'm really worried as a Seahawks fan about the Bills steamrolling in here. They're just a good roster, a good offense. Our defense is just shaky shaky.
If that defensive line ain't playing good, we're in trouble.
And I'm not buoyed by the Atlanta Falcons. That's Kirk Cousins football, baby. 509 yards 1 week, complete dud the next week. That's Kirk Cousins football, not Seattle Seahawks getting their defense right.
More to do with Atlanta than to Seattle. Yeah, I'll give you that.
I don't know. I didn't take too much from that, and Metcalf's probably out, right?
I think what was his injury? It's something, but it's still a knee. Yeah. Oh, sprained MCL. Yeah. That sounds like he's taking the week off.
Yeah.
But, and without him, he's been getting a ton of targets. Mm-hmm. Smith and Jigba's going to have to step up or something.
Yeah.
But
it just sucks because Geno, I know he's got 2,000 yards and stuff like that, but it just very limited creativity. He's more like a Darnold, out there. He's going to run it while it's running great, but
he's very inconsistent, man. He's inconsistent.
Yeah.
And I hate that about him. We look so good at times. Mm-hmm. We're just like, nobody can stop us. We can just score every single time we go down the field.
Yeah.
But if we're going to win this game, we need to control the clock. Yeah. Kenneth Walker is a friggin' monster. Most underrated running back in the NFL right now. This guy's a beast.
He's awesome.
He is fantastic.
But what can our offensive line do it?
Yeah, I know. That's the issue.
I love Walker, but our line is already kind of mediocre, and there's injuries there.
Yeah.
I don't. Bills are favored by 3 in our house.
I know.
Which I knew from the beginning that they were playing here in Seattle. Favored by 3 in our house. That's a dark time for Seattle fans. No one should be favored in Seattle. That's ridiculous.
12th man's got to show up for this game.
And they better.
I mean,
maybe I should go.
Get these rich folks out of there and get some, young hooligans out there.
No 49ers fans who grew up in Ballard. Where are you from? You ever been to California? No. Why are you wearing a Colin Kaepernick jersey? Why are you wearing a Brock Purdy jersey? You saw Netflix and so you bought a George Kittle jersey? Yeah.
I bet we'll probably see a lot of Josh Allen jerseys at the because Seattle, I don't know. It just seems like we have fantasy football people that they had Josh Allen. They'll just show up because of that.
That's true. I actually know a lot of Josh Allen loyalists, and it comes from fantasy football. So you are right about that.
Yeah. But I mean, if I had to call this game, this sounds like
what you do.
This sounds like classic Buffalo blows it game. Come in. We got all these like maybes and what ifs about Seattle, which is classic Seattle. We win the game because we don't think we're going to win. And the Buffalo, we're going to go in there and win the game because we're favored. I'm just using complete opposite, whatever knowledge or whatever I'm thinking.
Going against the grain.
Going against the grain. I don't think I'm worried about Josh Allen running the ball because we haven't faced many mobile quarterbacks. But as long as we got Big Murph in there, as long as that front four is playing well, Mafe doing his thing, we can cause some panics, We
got some more beef for the trade deadline, that Ernest
and if
guy.
The game's close at the end, Sean McDermott will blow it.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine. That's all I'm counting on.
I think the Bills are just going to put up a fireworks show on us. Coleman and Shakir are going to go nuts.
I'm worried about Shakir.
With Kincaid, and it's going to be, I don't know. I'm going to be the pessimist here. You've taken conventional wisdom and knocked it on its head. I'm rolling with conventional wisdom and saying Buffalo rolls.
Give us some bad weather, please. Just slow them down with some just awful, miserable weather.
Is that really going to affect Buffalo?
It could slow us both down.
Yeah, okay, slow us both down.
Which would be good for us.
We're the most pass-heavy team in the league.
Run the ball with Kenneth Walker. Come on. The guy's a monster.
It's ridiculous. All right, let's get to this Sunday night game.
Talk about another game.
Yeah, another game that is at the edge of the cliff. They're like the Eagles and the Bengals. They're at a tilting point of their season. The Dallas Cowboys, 3-3, go to Santa Clara, 3-4. The 49ers are favored by 4.5 on this game.
Really?
Yeah, again.
Wow.
They were favored against the Chiefs, remember? And we were baffled by that. And we were right to be baffled. This game is wild. Both teams have so much talent that is hurt.
Oh, I know, right?
And both teams are so desperate to make a thing. Like, the 49ers have no weapons. Like,
there's nobody.
There was a whole wing of a San Francisco hospital full of just San Francisco position players. Like Ayuk is in the infirmary.
Pneumonia.
Christian McCaffrey is being wheeled around the ward. Debo's got pneumonia.
Yep.
Kittle's got a foot sprain.
Ayuk's out for the year.
Ayuk's out. Jordan Mason's got a bad shoulder. He played through it, but even Jawan Jennings is out.
He's got a hip.
Might play, but
healthiest receiver is the guy that got shot 2 months ago. That's where they're at, dude.
Oh yeah, Chris Conley's even on the injury report, and Brock Purdy is not elevating those backups.
I know.
I mean, he's absolutely lost in man-to-man coverage. I was reading something about how he's just like,
Purdy's starting to look like
a 7th-round quarterback.
What he would look like without all those weapons.
You tried to gaslight us into Purdy as MVP, but no quarterback would be doing good with this situation. Yeah. That's fair.
You're down 5 weapons.
But he's particularly lost.
Yeah.
It was cringeworthy to watch him against the Chiefs.
The picks he threw, and
I didn't even want to watch it. Yeah. I was just like, okay, Chiefs won. They're not good. They're not going anywhere.
He hit his own lineman in the back of the head. And this comes after the week where I said, you know what?
Finally said,
you know what? Purdy's not that bad.
But to be fair, even in that, you were still very backhanded. You said, I guess he can play football as an NFL quarterback, basically.
So I've accepted that he's an NFL quarterback.
That was basically what you said.
He can be on the field.
Yeah, he shouldn't be cut.
Yeah. But this is brutal. Sunday Night Football, you fall to 3-5, you're in trouble. I always think when you get to that 5th loss, you basically can only afford like 3 more. Like 9-8 is like you're maybe in the playoffs. You get to loss number 5 and you got 2 months left to play. That's worrisome because McCaffrey ain't coming back anytime soon. I know everybody's waiting for that. No. But dude, like even if McCaffrey came back like right now, it's going to take some time to get conditioned and ready.
Yeah, and the defense isn't playing super great. No. There are also injuries there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 49ers, I mean, we talked about this in the 2023 NFL preview where I said the 49ers are the most vulnerable team to losing their stars.
Yeah.
They've just been poached upon poached upon poached. Their depth is just ravaged by the Texans, by the Jets, by all this coaching tree that has branched out. Like they're not able to get their the secret sauce used to be Shanahan has a type.
Yeah.
And he's the only one who wants that type, and he's getting them everywhere. But now the Texans want those guys. The Jets, for a while, wanted those guys. There's all these teams in that tree.
And they lost the guys that they wanted, the depth behind them.
I feel like last week I was saying to not worry about the 49ers, and now I'm worried about them. This is week to week. This is the classic NFL season.
Pretty much everybody they've paid is hurt.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're basically their entire cap this year is pretty much basically injured right now. But let's talk about why. Yeah. I mean, there's trouble for the Niners.
Yes.
But on the other hand,
let's talk about why they're still favored by 4.5. Because the Dallas Cowboys coming into town are an ugly, penalty-ridden. They bring their own flags. They are Micah Parsons still not practicing. I just looked that up to see. So Parsons still not practicing. Lawrence out. So their defense is banged up. Their offense is underperforming. It's as if all their position players are hurt because they don't have any besides CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
The supporting cast outside of CeeDee Lamb is bad.
When you're looking at Dowdle and Tolbert to be like your next guys, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And they don't look that great. Dowdle doesn't look like a great running back. He gets some opportunities.
It's very just a guy type of stuff. The Cowboys just feel weak. They feel like they're vulnerable. Even their wins haven't looked that great.
They feel like a classic Mike McCarthy team.
Like a Mike McCarthy team without Aaron Rodgers, basically.
Yeah.
That's what. But they did win 12 games last 3 years. So you're thinking, can they just explode to just get some revenge on the 49ers? This is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
The Cowboys Dak Prescott has that one game. It's 450
boom.
yards and 5 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb is getting 3 of them. Ferguson's getting 100 yards. And 49ers knocked down a 3-6. And just Dallas, just do what you need to do this season to make your mark. And that is just blow up the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. This is a plea from Miles to do this.
He wants it.
Yeah. But then again, this is why I didn't like Romo. I kept rooting for the Cowboys, and Romo would always blow it in the big moments. But that's going back a long years. But
I mean, I'm still worried about the Cowboys, but with the Niners being so damn hurt, it seems like a game that the Cowboys could take. Yeah. This is a classic rivalry, Niners-Cowboys. I mean, that goes way back to the 80s.
I love seeing these uniforms together.
So great Sunday night football game, especially with the desperation in it all.
Yeah.
But there's just something about McCarthy I just really hate. Talking about most punchable faces. McCarthy's up there too. And they should want the revenge from last year even.
Yeah.
They got absolutely smoked. Like
the week 5, also Sunday Night Football.
Prescott couldn't even finish the game.
Right.
Like, he threw so many picks. It was an absolute blowout.
Yep.
Dallas needs to get something going. They're coming off the bye week, so maybe they're a little more fresh. Maybe the line's a little more fresh. Yeah. Maybe they've got some new offensive plays that they kind of want to dial up. But I don't know. This is Dallas. Like, they find a way to shoot themselves in the foot all the time. Mm-hmm. There's going to be 10 penalties on them, just almost guaranteed. They're going to keep San Fran around.
So you saying San Francisco pulls it?
I think San Fran's going to win it.
I'm going Dallas. Yeah. Off the bye is even an even further point. I mean, Dallas Cowboys fans, will they even be watching? Because they're a split fan base right now, rooting for the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. You got to be a Yankee and a Cowboy fan, or a Dodger and a Cowboy fan.
That is true.
Yeah.
They're just America's teams. Oh, man, yeah. I don't know. There's something about Dallas that just got disappointing season written all over it. And Jerry Jones is just foaming at the mouth right now.
They're already at 3 losses. They've had 5 losses the last 3 years, so they're already having their worst season.
Yeah. I'd like both of these. Can I go tie?
You can go tie.
Let's go tie.
All right. Kirk picks tie.
But if I had to pick a Niners. Yeah.
All right. Who's winning the World Series?
Ooh.
Dodgers, Yankees.
You know what?
Now, we know very little about baseball compared to football.
Yeah. It's been a weird baseball playoffs because there hasn't been a lot of starting pitching. Usually starting pitching is like what's going to win it for you.
Yeah.
But neither team really has great starting pitching.
No, Dodgers are going to do multiple bullpen games in this series.
So if I just got to go based on just hitting, it's going Dodgers. Their lineup is just depth 1 through 9. They got hitters all over the place. Yankees kind of fizzle out after number like 6 or 5.
Yeah. But there's like 5 great hitters. And I love this because you got Ohtani, you got Betts, maybe Freeman, I don't really count him. But then you got Soto, Judge, and Stanton on the Yankees side.
Yeah.
I love this star power in a World Series. Like, for us, for casual baseball fans, I think this is Judge and Ohtani are the 2 first names that are really becoming household names. Like Kathleen or our mom or grandma would know these names.
Yeah.
They haven't known a baseball name since Griffey. They didn't know who Mike Trout was.
Right.
They didn't know who Clayton Kershaw was or give a crap. Like, if this series is great, Ohtani and Judge could become stars, like equivalent of, the 10th best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, right. I mean, I like this series. I'm glad it's New York, Yankees versus Dodgers, this classic matchup. Mm-hmm. So I'll actually be watching the World Series this year.
Yeah, starts tomorrow.
Usually I kind of skip out on a game or two. Last year, Texas and Arizona, I was like, whatever, like, I don't care who wins.
Me neither.
But I'm leaning Dodgers. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it's because they got home field or something, and they just got a better lineup.
I'm taking Yankees. I think I'm rooting for Stanton.
Okay.
I mean, usually, I'm going Yankees.
Okay, all right.
Young Carlos Stanton gets his ring.
I hope it goes 6 or 7 games.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
The biggest hope.
That's the biggest thing. All right, my name is Miles.
I'm Kirk.
A good night.